man and that 2-2-1 press. BYU has to take care of the ball.
BYU in white, Fresno State in black. Both 3-0. Who's going to lose for the first time? BYU wins the tip. No contest as Rokel bats it back, and Sydney Benali starts things for us here in Provo at the Marriott Center. BYU and Fresno State. Hounding defense from the Dogs early as Gibb drives and travels. So a quick turnover. Fresno State will hound you, pun intended, all game. They will sub 2 minutes into the game. They will get after it. BYU's going to press 2. This is going to be a fun game. You see Powell, Gamble, Long, Reen, and Kuna inserted into the starting lineup for the first time this year.
And Kuna getting in there because of that presence she's been. She's very effective, high efficient scorer.
Esquiawara will come off the bench, and Kuna gets the bucket to get Fresno State on the board.
There she is, and she's 7 for 10 early going in this season from the floor. So very efficient, as we said, just a little soft touch around the rim, but the early foul here. And this is where Fresno State has to be careful because they're going to pressure all game long, all 40 minutes of BYU, but foul trouble will really hurt them. They do have some depth, not quite as much on the guard line as BYU does.
Quickly, Powell comes out, India Clark comes in. I said 2 minutes. What I meant was 39 seconds.
A little quicker than you would plan on. And foul trouble will do that sometimes, but coach is trying to keep fresh legs, especially for the Bulldogs on the road.
Gibb is fouled, so a second quick one. Kuna called for the first personal for her second team, the senior from Germany. BYU has a German as well, Lara Rokel. So we'll see if there's some German trash talk on the court. Delaney Gibb will trigger for BYU in front of the student section here on that west side of the gym, and a turnover for BYU, second in 2 possessions. That's what Fresno State likes to do, speed you up. Gamble, handoff from Kuna. Gamble's game is not to shoot threes. She has yet to shoot one this season. They get it inside to Reen. She is blocked. And BYU basketball.
With a long length inside, BYU has that, but you can see, as you mentioned, Jerem, Gamble doesn't want to shoot at the outside, and that's why BYU is protecting the screen, and so they're going to try and really help on Gamble in that pick and roll action.
You see Lee Kamard, BYU's first-year head coach. First BYU head coach ever in their first 3 games to win all 3.
That says a lot. I mean,
yes, it does. I was surprised by that stat.
This is a tougher test, absolutely, for BYU than what they've seen in the first 3.
BYU won the jump, so Fresno State gets the alternate possession back. Both 3-0, as you mentioned. Coastal Carolina, San Jose State, Omaha wins for BYU. Fresno State beat Fresno Pacific, D2 Cal State Bakersfield, and Seattle. BYU backs off the pressure just a little bit. And here's Millie Long, one of the 5 transfers from Alaska Anchorage that followed Ryan McCarthy, who was there for 13 seasons. He's an Anchorage native, and so he left home to go to Fresno as there's a foul on Sydney Benali, her first personal. We asked him, what was it about Fresno State that kind of he enjoyed? He said, I've been offered D1 jobs a bunch the last decade, but the culture of the area, we represent more than the city and ourselves. He loves the San Joaquin Valley. Of course, the V on the Bulldog represents that. They have a logo for it. And now he's 3-0. With Fresno State. They're joining the Pac-12, by the way, next year. That's an important piece of this conversation, too.
A lot of excitement around that Pac-12 coming next season. And he's got 11 newcomers on this team, 5 of which followed him from Anchorage, Alaska, which is huge because they know exactly what is expected in his system.
And 3 coaches, one of which is his wife. That was the most important person who continued to follow him. As that ball goes off the backboard and Gamble comes up with a rebound. Check that, India Clark. Here's Millie Long from Port Angeles, Washington. Kuna up and in the battle of Germans. Or nothing.
Very skilled, very comfortable, the bigs are. When they catch that ball at the elbow and either put it on the ground or a little baby jump shot because they have great hands. You know, it goes back to that traditional 3-2 that most teams used to play, but now you don't see it very often, and this is something that the Bulldogs do by utilizing their bigs. They'll go to that high-low look with the 2 bigs inside.
4 out, 4 in for Fresno State. They go 10 or 11 deep. They want to keep fresh bodies. Reminds me of Kentucky in the late 90s with former BYU head coach Mark Pope.
Not quite the hockey change lineup, right?
Olivia Hamlin off the bench for 3 to get BYU on the board. Timeout Fresno State. Ryan McCarthy is upset with his team.
Offense, and a big part of that is how they share the basketball. And they're coming off that game with 7 players in double figures on Thursday against Omaha, and that just showcases how well they're passing the ball, but how many weapons they have. So a dynamic offensive look, and it's tough to defend.
So how does Fresno State respond out of the timeout? They turn it over. Sydney Benali after Cannon got it. Tip to Rokel, and puts it up and in, and BYU with 5 straight to take the lead.
And BYU showing their own full court pressure, and this is something we've seen in the first couple games where they're going to extend that all game long. This is a new, different look for BYU, and they have the personnel to do it. Andrew Curtis at the head of that, the new assistant for BYU, who kind of takes the reins on the defense.
By the way, prior to that Olivia Hamlin 3, Fresno State, as there's a double dribble, had allowed 2 made threes in 3 games. That's best in the nation.
Well, and Olivia Hamlin got a wide open look. This is why the timeout came. This is why Coach Ryan McCarthy was so upset, because look how open. That can't happen if you're Fresno State, to leave a wide open shooter for BYU. They'll make you pay. And he really takes pride and has a high expectation of communicating, being matched up.
Cannon now for BYU. Two teams settling. It's a frenetic pace on defense for both.
It's a fun game for us to call.
Absolutely.
Because it's up and down.
I am here for this. Hamlin called a travel, but she never really had possession.
Did she take a step before putting it on the floor? And that may be where the travel came, but I agree with you, because they're allowed to establish.
She was still gathering. She kind of put 2 hands down to sort of stop the ball from hitting her ankles. I thought that was a quick call. Inbounded basically to Benali, who steals it, misses the layup. And then Benali gets the foul. That's her second.
Ooh, that's a tough one for BYU. Their floor general, just a freshman, but the poise and the composure that she leads and sets the tone with is going to be missed, so she's going to have to sit out for quite a while with those 2 personals.
And certainly frustrating to miss a layup, and then perhaps part of that is the frustration of that getting that foul, and now she'll have to sit for a while.
Now BYU, very capable ball handlers out there, and it's primarily going to be in the hands of Olivia Hamlin now or Delaney Gibb to run the point.
Hamlin's been fantastic, by the way. 15.7 points per game off the bench.
Well, she's that ball of energy, that spark plug. Instant offense.
Nelly Long now from Fresno State. Goes to the corner. They're going to back off Gamble. She doesn't shoot threes. Drives, goes up and in. Jason Gamble, the senior from San Bruno, California. One of those 5 transfers from Alaska Anchorage. The floater. No good from Hudgens, up and in for Rokel, who's got 4. 7-6 BYU. A lot of Rokel, a rebounding machine. The transfer from the College of Charleston. She's 7th in the country in blocks right now, averaging nearly a double-double. 10.3 points per game, 9.7 boards.
The transfer has made an immediate impact for BYU and been that presence on both sides of the ball, but rebounding was an emphasis for both of these coaches coming in to really box out, especially defensive boards.
Millie Long, and off to Kuna. She's got 4 early points. Open opportunity for India Clark. Drives, throws it off the window, up and in. India Clark, the senior from Wasilla, Arkansas, the Wofford transfer.
She takes advantage when Rokel flew at her on her closeout, puts a ball on the floor, made the right decision to get to the rim. And Long just a pest defensively, but too much contact as Gibbs going right at her. She's going to pick up the foul.
For Fresno State, you sort of see what they're calling. Today's officials, Gina Cross, Scott Yarborough, Kevin Patel.
And as a player, you have to adjust to that, Jerome. You have to make the adjustment. They're going to call it tight so that you don't get into foul trouble, which we've seen, unfortunately, for Sid Benali for BYU.
Air ball by Gibb, gathered by Hamlin. Lee Camard saying there was a tip, and if there was, it should maintain BYU possession. If there wasn't, then it's Fresno State ball. Now, the official said to Lee, you can appeal it if you want.
He wants to appeal it. This will be his first coach's appeal.
In the men's game, it is called a coach's challenge. In the women's, it is a coach's appeal. There is a distinction, and they will review it. Here's the official.
And from Lee Camard's vantage point, he feels like there was definitely a touch, and Fresno State continues to be so disciplined defensively and be up in BYU. Every passing lane, the on-ball defense, the rotations, they want to be sharp and communicating on all of it. Let's take a look. Watch the pass. Hudgens trying to get it to give. Let's see if there's a touch right there. Ooh, that's tough to tell. Will there be enough to overturn the call?
This will be our best look here.
Ooh, it looked like the fingertips for sure. You can kind of see the fingertips go back.
Did the pinky of Jasa Gamble.
Look how high she is in that passing lane.
Very high, right?
Anticipating, and they really just want to make it difficult for BYU to get the ball where they want to set up their offense, take away those entry passes. So they do not overturn this. They're
They do not.
And because of that, BYU will suffer a timeout being taken away. They didn't see enough evidence to overturn the original call.
Lee Camard had not challenged or appealed yet.
Yes.
So now he's 0 for 1 on the year.
And he can still appeal more throughout the game. It's unlimited in appeals, but if it's not overturned, he will continue to lose timeouts. If he has no timeouts left, they're going to shoot free throws. Fresno State will.
And sometimes players get ejected and you just play with 5 players. Shout out West Virginia.
Oh my
Last
gosh.
night overcame a crazy game to beat 15th ranked Duke, where they were down to 5 players, Kristen, after a fight.
If you didn't get to see that game, I would say
crazy.
Go back and watch it. I'm actually going to go back and watch it for a second time. That was a wild game by West Virginia and Duke last night. In a fight, a scuffle broke out in the second period, so 1 player from Duke gets kicked out, 6 players from West Virginia kicked out, and they had to finish with about 2.5 quarters left to play in that game and end up beating the 15th-ranked Duke Blue Devils.
So here we go. BYU loses the appeal, loses a timeout, as you mentioned. Fresno State basketball up 8-7 here in the first quarter. Gamble drives. She already made one of those. Missed that one. Brittany Cannon with the rebound.
Great rotation by BYU, the help side defense.
And the travel by Mariah Hudgens. BYU is very sped up right now. Both teams are, frankly. Fresno State with 4 turnovers. That's the 5th for BYU.
This defense and this pace that Fresno State wants to play with, they call it mayhem, and it's really this idea that we're going to shuffle through different looks defensively against BYU. That might be zone, might be man-to-man, and they'll adjust based off what happens with that on-ball defender. But a lot of different things they're looking for. They're looking to speed BYU up. They're looking to force BYU into their own miscues and then take time off the clock. So BYU is rushing at the end of a late shot clock.
There's a certain intensity with this game, with both teams being 3-0, and the way they play defense. It's been entertaining so far. Yep.
Absolutely.
Best team BYU's played so far this year. Nice back cut. Kuna with the offensive rebound. Swings over to Clark. Clark for 3. Nice rebound on the offensive end by Gamble.
BYU struggling to find a body. They're just turning and going up to try to secure the ball.
And a foul on the Cougars. The 3rd team foul. Hezbollah Yusuf will come in.
That's going to be the first on Mariah Hudgens, as she was that second line of defense coming over, tried to wall up. The officials thought it was too much contact. Bola Youssef coming in, the 6'3" freshman. She's going to bring that physicality for this BYU team. Coach Camar's been very impressed with how efficient she is and her minutes, her impact on the game.
Mid-range jumper from Powell is too strong. Rebound Yusuf, who's been a rebounding machine. Her per 40 rebounding average is 24.2.
It's just 12 minutes a game, comes in, averages 7.5 rebounds per game.
Goes right to the rack, lost that one. Too strong. Poked away, long on the recovery. Both teams are running each other ragged here. 3 ball is good from Danae Powell, the sophomore from Vegas.
Just her 3rd 3-point make early in the season. She doesn't take a lot of them, but she was left wide open on the miscommunication. BYU not matched up.
Gibb drives into Yusuf for the layup.
You see the unselfish play from Gibb, beating the defender, then the second defender has to make a choice, right? She chose to suck over to Delaney Gibb and left Bola wide open.
Long on the handoff. Top of the key, Cannon defending. And Cannon will get the foul reaching in. Both teams on a foul fest right now. 9 fouls in 6 minutes and 50 seconds. We might be here a while, but we're here for it. On an afternoon game here in Provo, Utah. Busy day on campus for Cougar Athletics. Football game tonight, last night. Women's soccer with a shootout win in the first round of the NCAA tournament against Utah State that went to the 10 or 11 kicks. It was crazy as BYU's called for another foul. Brentley Cannon will get her second. So Benali and Cannon, 2 starters with 2 fouls already. And that will send Fresno State to the line.
Well, Brentley Cannon, the best defensive player that BYU has. You see the rotation right here and the arm just getting caught just a little bit late. And Cannon now going to have to sit with those 2 along with Sid Benali, who's been out for a couple minutes. But Cannon, they utilize everyone on the court. She can literally guard 1 through 5. And her offense has greatly improved from a season ago.
Yeskiawara makes the free throw. The graduate student from Bamako, Mali, joining Ja Sissoko from Bamako, Mali on Fresno State's roster. And on BYU's, Mariam Traore from Kati, which is about a 30-minute drive away. Both free throws are good. Fresno State up 13-9 here in the first. BYU starting the offense inside the logo. Moving along with it.
And 10 seconds down before they initiate their offense.
Gibb goes in strong, gets fouled. She'll go to the line for 2. All Delaney Gibb right there.
Once Delaney Gibb puts the ball on the floor, she is so good at getting her hips and her shoulders past you to create her opportunity to score or for her teammates. You see just kind of that whip through as she took the ball over. She has incredible balance and body control, but boy, free throws. And this is something BYU struggled with. I know we're early in the season, only 3 games in, but they've got to step up and knock down these free throws, especially with where we're going in terms of how the officials are calling it. There's gonna be a lot of free throws in this one.
Gibb knocks it down. Long in a hurry. Ja Sissoko, by the way, in for the first time this season, picked up the foul a minute ago, and now
well, that's going to be the
a foul
second.
on Ashlyn Reen, her second. Leading score for Fresno State.
Reen was trying to set a screen, just get her teammate open, but sometimes it's the guard's fault if they go too early and the screener is not established, which it looked like to me there if you leave too early. Gibb doing a really good job, taking the reins now at point.
Finds a driving lane, left hand up and in for the senior national Canadian team member, Delaney Gibb, sophomore star, Big 12 freshman of the year a year ago.
Bulldogs don't have anyone that can stay in front of Gibb right now.
Long bounce pass for 3. No good. O-board thrown up with 2 hands, and the foul drawn by Danae Powell, who will go to the line. The fouls continue to stack up for both teams. BYU 6, Fresno State has 7. We still have 2 minutes left in this quarter.
Well, Fresno State creating the extra opportunities. BYU not boxing out, and this is a Fresno State. They come in and they average just over 16 offensive rebounds a game and 17.5 second chance points. They do a really good job crashing with all 5.
Yusuf on the foul. Powell makes the first free throw attempt of the season. Had 18 points against Fresno Pacific. And the sophomore adds 2 more. We got a team high 5 points. 15-12 Bulldogs. Lee Kamard calling the play. Delaney Gibb way out in front. 15 on the shot clock. A pass has not occurred quite yet as she dribbles. Shoots the 3, misses. Yusuf tries to grab it. Powell couldn't quite wrangle it, and Gibb gets the offensive rebound. This defense is hounding. Swing to Gunlock, the freshman from Montana. Hamlin wants it. 1-3, missed that one.
Great look from BYU, though. The freshman, Braden Gunlock, to her freshman teammate. And she put the ball on the floor just to create that extra open space for Hamlin.
The only place Hamlin has struggled has been from three.
Yes, coming in, she is only shooting 22%.
Nearly the pick six for Hamlin. Everything else has been spectacular.
And really, BYU as a team isn't shooting the three ball well. And you're putting up 38 three-point attempts per game. And this is a team
28%.
28%. So they are averaging just under 11 makes per game. Those numbers are going to come up because they're getting great looks. Last game, they had 4 or 5 open looks early in the game. They just didn't knock them down.
And this is the best three-point shooter for Fresno State. Ava Marr, the reigning Mountain West Conference Freshman of the Week, missed on that one. Under a minute to go, first quarter. Bulldogs up 15-12. Gibb left that out in front, stolen by Fresno State, the 2-on-1. Gamble up and in from Powell on the fast break. BYU with numbers up.
Look how quickly they want to push the floor out of the net and continue to get into it. But Fresno State doing a really good job getting back and protecting their basket.
Yusuf lost it. Another turnover for the Cougars. 7, equaling Thursday night's number.
This is where they're missing Sydney Benali. BYU is over-dribbling in the half-court offense, and they're getting into trouble because the Bulldogs are doing an excellent job rotating, moving. When that ball is put on the deck, the extra defenders coming over to shadow the basketball, and BYU getting into trouble.
Gibb will get 33 seconds of game time to rest. Going to be a primary ball handler, as you mentioned, with Sydney Benali on the bench. Hamlin guarding Long. A 2.5 seconds difference between game and shot clock. Gamble top of the key.
BYU with 3 freshmen out there in the lineup right now. Tasked to defend.
They'll knock on Long. Long with the left hand, drives baseline. Hudgens, jump ball, BYU basketball with 5.4.
Props to the freshman. Braden Gunlock stayed in front of the ball, and when she had her opportunity, she tied it up. Excellent job.
You've got 28 seconds of rest because BYU got the ball back.
Hey, they need her offense.
Hamlin was going to grab it, turned and saw Gibb and was like, I'm going to head up court right now. Gibb, the running start. Going to try and get into a 3. She scored a bunch on this. Ogden, Hamlin for 3 at the buzzer. Bang! Olivia Hamlin makes 2 threes in the first quarter. That's
30 years ago.
Crazy. What'd you make of that first quarter? That was Fournette.
Boy, that was, yeah. I mean, the physicality that we expected. It was fun to watch both teams get after it defensively. Some foul trouble a little bit that we're going to keep an eye on, but BYU did a really good job at the end getting some momentum on that 3-point shot from Olivia Hamlin.
Nice move up and in for Jess Giowara. 5th in offensive rebounds last year in the Mountain West Conference with Fresno State. One of those holdovers.
The skill and the footwork on the secondary is beautiful.
Gibb, and one by Delaney Gibb. You can tell she's a little frustrated by the pressure that's being given. Able to get to the rim and draw the foul.
But she's a player that can get by the pressure, and you see just utilizing her angles, that quick first step to get right by Gamble, draws the contact, and she's used to playing through contact. I mean, last year when she burst onto the scene, teams start to figure out, and they're going to put 2 on her, 3 on her, and rotate. She is used to the physicality and being bumped all the way down her line.
Sophomore from Raymond, Alberta, Canada. This is the free throw. Fresno State will get the basketball. And hear the grumbling from the BYU crowd. Cougars with some pressure as well. Avery Watkins helping Millie Long. Gamble calls for the screen. Giowara battling Hattie Ogden.
Now Ogden in this lineup, it's a shorter lineup for BYU, but a better defensive lineup with what Fresno State wants to do. The challenge is they got to box out and rebound. We saw right there another opportunity now for the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs 23rd in rebounding margin in the country at +16. Nice swing, Gamble. Ava Marr banks it in. I don't think she meant to, but it counts the same.
We talked to Coach about her green light, and he said it's a neon green light as we see another turnover by BYU.
It felt like there was a reach from behind.
Cougars now with 8 giveaways.
(22-17) Fresno State. Collected by Hamlin. Here's Watkins.
See, they're looking for that high-low look or exchanging the bigs from elbow to elbow.
Ivamar, stolen by Gibb. 2-on-1 now for BYU. Gibb to Hamlin, missed it.
Ooh, those bunnies, those are big misses in transition, the easy look.
Gamble fouled. Good luck for BYU.
BYU's being so challenged offensively in their half-court set. As we went back the other way, Gamble does a really good job splitting the defense, drawing the contact.
Sydney Benali back in for the Cougars. She got two fouls in the first couple of minutes. So they'll risk it here in the first half and kind of need to. Down 5, 8 turnovers, need to settle down a little bit with the basketball. As Jaysa Gamble misses the first, the senior from San Bruno, California.
And there really is that fine line, Jeremy, as you mentioned, where you got to either take the risk when your offense is struggling. Now, if they're clicking and they're scoring, you can sit Sid Benali. But they need her ability to move the basketball and get into their half-court offense. And honestly, right now, this is probably just as much as important to take the pressure off Delaney Gibb and help her out, as she's doing so much right now on the court.
Benali saying to Hudgens, go ahead.
A lot of trust right now with Kamard putting Sid Benali back in.
Might affect how she plays a little bit of defense. Trying to avoid that third back cut. Was deflected, stays with BYU. Fresno State saying, we did not touch it, appeal it. They're going to appeal it. So here comes Fresno State's first of the game.
So similar to what we saw earlier with Coach Kamard appealing a touch, which was a half-court violation. They're going to appeal this.
Is White's ball. That play is under review.
We'll see if there was a touch. Fresno State saying they did not.
The backdoor cut by BYU, and see if it was touch right here by. No, I think the call is going to get overturned. This might be successful. Watch right here. See if Powell touches it. She does not.
Yeah, that's off Hamlin. Good appeal. They're going to win this. Should be a. And Dallas Baptist baseball only. They have a great baseball program, so it'll be interesting. And if someone woke up from a coma, 5 years ago to now, they wouldn't know where most teams play anymore. It's
all over, right? It's all mixed up,
crazy.
Just jumbled. Throw it in a pot and mix it up. But a great opportunity for Fresno State. And it's really going to start with Ryan McCarthy and what he brings. So much success that he had at Anchorage, Alaska. 13 seasons. His record was 309-67.
It's amazing. Great success there at the D2 program in his hometown. Nice pass inside, a nice finish by Watkins as Fresno State gets past the press. Hudgens will bring it up for BYU.
It doesn't matter who's bringing the ball up. Lily Long is picking it up. And you see right there another turnover, and that's what Long does. She sets the tone defensively. She's very smart. She's a captain on this team, but she's sneaky defensively and doing an excellent job forcing BYU to struggle to get into their offense.
So 10 turnovers now as Brendan Cannon will come back with 2 fouls. 3 turnovers the last 2-12 for BYU, and they haven't scored in that span either. 6-0 run by Fresno State, and they lead it by 8 here in the second. Steal by Hamlin on Long. Races it up, left hand, missed it. Benali throws it back up and in, missed it. And it goes out, BYU basketball. Again, the frenetic pace of these two teams is wild.
Well, the freshman Hamlin does a really good job of just pushing this ball in transition, but cannot finish. Now we've seen 2 of those missed in transition. That's very uncharacteristic of Olivia Hamlin, and she knows it. She's a competitor. Be a little bit more dialed in and focused in transition.
Gibb lost it. Got it back.
That extended pressure, and they're long. The Bulldogs are long. Is making it difficult offensively for BYU.
Rokel back to Hamlin. 2 on the shot clock. Gibb has to put it up. Catch and shoot, grazes the rim. Rebound by Danae Powell. Long. This is Sissoko. First action for her of the season. Did not play in the first 3 games. Former player at Salt Lake Community College up the road.
Yeah, it's been a couple years initially when she came out of prep.
Rebound by Rokel. Giawara was there with her. So they're back in Utah as Hamlin throws it up and in, and a blocking foul against Watkins. 2 shots coming for Olivia Hamlin.
Well, Hamlin doesn't know any other speed than go 100 at getting the ball to go in the basket. And you see 2 players flying at her. She puts ball on the deck and then draws the contact. She's such a weapon off the bench. And Kamar loves to have that offensive spark when she comes in. Playing a lot of minutes right now with some of the foul trouble by BYU.
5'10" freshman from Santa Clara. As you see Watkins being helped off. Should be attended to by the trainer. Hamlin has been training with Aaron Thorne, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, BYU basketball player ever.
Since she was 10.
Since she was 10, I saw that this week.
Yeah,
that's cool.
10 years old, and who better to train with than
oh my gosh,
the best that played here.
And Aaron's working with USA Basketball now, which is cool.
Yeah, she is.
Rokel, offensive rebound and putback. 25-20.
BYU has 6 offensive rebounds, 4 second chance points. Rokel is a huge part of those extra opportunities.
Long 2 by Long is good.
That's the first shot by Millie Long, and she's just been doing a whole lot of everything else offensively for this team.
Gibb, nice off-balance shot. Long averages 13 a game, to your point, has not.
She hasn't needed to
put herself in the offense very much.
And really, with how they're guarding the pick and roll, you see that they're forcing Long into the pick and roll, the help of Rokel, who's kind of shadowing and trying to take away the turn.
Oh, Rokel thought she had the breakout. Deflection by Benali, steal by Hamlin. Oh, nice move by Hamlin. A small euro to get around, up and in, and BYU trails by 3.
The fans now into the game as Hamlin is quickly becoming a fan favorite with her energy and effort on the offensive side and defense.
Long throws it off the glass, way too strong.
BYU with momentum now, and you can sense it.
Hamlin gonna dribble into a 3. Too strong. Timeout Fresno State. But BYU feeling the momentum, crowd into it here as BYU on a bit of a run to cut into this. Welcome back, Fresno State. Still up by 3, but we've got a good one on our hands this afternoon here in Provo. Clark. Over to Powell. Powell trying to get around Gibb. Giawara, 5 on the shot clock. Clark fouled by Benali. That is her 3rd. Sydney Benali's going to have to sit for the rest of the half.
Absolutely caught out of position on Clark because she was posting her up. The Bulldogs got the look they wanted. It didn't look like it was really happening with the pick and roll on the left side, and then they get the ball high post, and that's where they go to work with that high-low look. Clark did a really good job posting up Sydney Benali.
Benali probably just needs to concede the basket because her 3rd personal foul is way worse than a single field goal. India Clark didn't play the first 2 games. Was 1 for 2. And now the ball handling will be with Gibb and Hamlin. Gunlock, Hamlin. Gibb open for 3, missed it. But a foul underneath. Lada Rokel draws the foul against Giawara.
Rokel doing work on the glass and just that presence inside. BYU is without Heather Hampson, who will come in, has a stronger, bigger body that can provide a little bit of relief for Rokel, but Rokel challenged to be that presence inside.
Cannon misses from deep. Fresno State has led this for 13:46. Really just a lead for $130. Bulldogs have been in control. Battle of 2 3-0 teams here.
You see the ability for BYU to switch with Brindley Cannon at any moment in that pick and roll action.
Gamble, Giawara, mid-range, missed it. Cannon rips it down quickly to Gibb. Ahead to Hamlin, up and in. Fast break basketball from the Cougars. It's a 2-point game. 11 points for Olivia Hamlin. She's been in double figures all 4 games off the bench. She's been awesome.
And credit to Cannon for the quick kick-ahead pass out to Gibb, who split the defenders on the extra pass to Hamlin.
Ava Marr, three-point bomber, missed it. Banked one in earlier.
Rokel with the tip on the board just to keep that possession.
Give away by Gibb, taken away by Clark. BYU had 2 on the weak side.
Their frenetic pace continues for these players.
11 turnovers for BYU, 8 for Fresno State. Giwara to Gamble, to Powell. And get a deep touch to Giwara. Gamble drives in, left hand. No good. Rokel quickly to Hamlin. Gibb catch and shoot. Boom! Delaney Gibb, the third three-point make for the Cougars. And BYU takes the lead back 29-28.
Coming into this game, the Bulldogs only giving up 2 three-point makes in all 3 of the games they had played prior, and BYU has already surpassed that. Doing a really good job in transition with Delaney Gibb and Olivia Hamlin at the head, out on the break.
6 subs waiting to come in. Ava Marr. And the turnover. Excuse me, just deflected out. 3 subs for each team coming in.
The last couple possessions, BYU's done a much better job being dialed in defensively, particularly in that 2-man game up top when the Bulldogs go into it. And Rokel has been fantastic with her help. If the guard turns the corner, she sticks with the guard. And we saw right there the deflection.
5 on the shot clock. Long's got to get it up. Goes up strong, too strong with the right hand. Yusuf. Over to Hudgens. Gibb. And Yusuf called for the offensive foul. That would be her second.
Kuna had position, did a really good job putting a body on Bolo Yusuf and keeping her off the glass.
3 team fouls for each.
You see the extended pressure again. Gibb has not, I mean, she came out briefly that we saw at the end of the first quarter, but she only sat for like 20 seconds and came right back in. And just all-out effort on both sides of the ball from Delaney Gibb.
And there's a foul on Gibb, her first. The sophomore who leads BYU in points per game. 3 makes and takes, free throw makes as well. You see the foul trouble for BYU. Benali with 3, Cannon with 2, Yusuf with 2. Ashley Reen has not played much in this first half.
And the foul trouble for Reen.
2 as well.
Opted to keep her out.
Watkins with 2 as well for the Bulldogs. Under 2 minutes to go here in the first half. BYU up 29-28.
And BYU really able to switch with the personnel they have. They're switching everything right now.
Green back in the game now. Jump ball, BYU basketball. So another turnover, make it 9 now for Fresno State. And I mentioned the V for San Joaquin Valley. The V is on the back of the jersey. That's how much the Valley means to Fresno State. It's not just the city of Fresno. And one of the greatest connectors between these 2 teams is one Steve Cleveland, who was the head coach of the men's team for both BYU and Fresno State, as well as Fresno City College prior to that. Gunlock, Yusuf, too strong. Here comes Danae Powell, goes up on Gibb, and she swats it away. Hudgens driving on Gamble. Gunlock, too strong. Yusuf missed the putback.
What a block from Delaney Gibb. Keeps her body off. Now she does have that one personal, so she took the risk and it paid off. But BYU cannot convert in transition.
Fresno State's 0 for its last 6, 1 for its last 8. They haven't scored in 3:40.
BYU's locked up their half-court defense. They're doing a really good job switching everything.
Green steps through. Yusuf contested. Green offensive rebound. Mid-range for Gamble. Yusuf with the rebound. BYU can hold for the last shot and take the lead into half. Here comes the double from Powell. Gibb steps through. 6 on the clock. Gibb wants it back. Hudgens at the buzzer. does it at the end of the first and second quarters. So Fresno State ball at midcourt, second half underway. Great to have you with us here in Provo.
And watch for Fresno State to try to get it into Green's hands as often as they can around the rim.
Green looking for her first points of the contest. Skipped quickly to Gamble in the corner. Thrown into Green, BYU helps, gets the steal, Gibb. Crossover ahead to Cannon. Pass back to Gibb. That extended pressure yielded 12 turnovers for Fresno State. Back cut to Benali. High off the window, up and in for Sydney Benali. Playing through some foul trouble. BYU with a game-high 6-point advantage.
Perfectly executed. That was drawn up by Kamard coming out of the break, and BYU does a really good job crossing underneath and getting Benali a good look.
Green goes strong, up and in. First bucket of the day for Ashlyn Green, a sophomore from New Zealand.
She knows she has
Double
to
dribble against Delaney Gibb. A 13th turnover on the Cougars.
Those are the ones that you really struggle with, the ones that aren't forced. But watch this bucket. Beautiful pass from Rocco. Just a little tip on it, but Benali enough to control it and go up. Executed perfectly by BYU. On the other side, Green is going to work, and you can tell they're getting touches with her. She's getting out in the pick and roll, looking for her on the roll. They're trying to get her involved in the offense.
She clocked in to start this second half. Nice defense by Gibb coming across to tip that. Cannon with the steal. Gibb driving hard. Had a reverse if she wanted it. Cannon in and out. Kuna with the rebound. By the way, Brindley Cannon averages 2 of everything. That's amazing.
It's a magic number. 2 threes, 2 steals. She does a really good job with the blocks. Look at it again. Another steal.
Puts it away, hands it to Gibb. And then Fresno State gets an uncontested pass away, and then Rokel says, not today. Gibb skips ahead to Benali. Throws it ahead to Rokel. Easy layup. The unselfish play from Sydney Benali, 36-30 Cougars.
BYU continues to run their game, their tempo by pushing the floor every opportunity they get and getting a good look at the rim with Rokel.
Long, missed it. Rokel tried to box out and then gets the ball. Benali way up ahead. What a pass from Gibb. Benali missed a layup. Hudgens tried to tap it back. BYU has missed several layups today. Had some good looks at the rim. Stays a 6-point advantage for BYU.
Really uncharacteristic misses, and you just have to think with the frenetic pace that we're playing, those misses are coming with the lack of focus, maybe a little bit of just the rushed look, but watch the craziness diving on the floor. That's exactly what Brindley Cannon brings to this team. And then another takeaway. The block, defensive presence inside by Rokel. And Rokel out in front of everyone after the block to finish the layup in transition. The pressure will not stop with the Bulldogs. And this is going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight the entire game for both these teams.
Both are holding opponents under 52 points on the season. Benali open for 3. Sydney Benali from distance. BYU's 5th make from beyond the arc.
How about the 5th assist from Gibb, the playmaker right now with the ball in her hands for BYU.
India Clark drives in hard on Rokel and one. A tough bucket by India Clark, the senior from Arkansas. Born in Orlando, played high school in Alaska and Maine. She's been all over.
She absorbed the contact, did a really good job just keeping the ball high and finishing on the right side of the rim. Especially when you got that open space, it's a one-on-one opportunity right at Rokel. You can see the aggression come out, and they need that from Clark. She needs to be that additional offensive threat.
Clark perfect on the season, 3 for 3 from the line now. 40-38. Benali stumbled into the layup, missed it. Long looks to her right. Sissoko going to the corner to Gamble. Long passed up a 3. We're not going to guard Gamble deep. Hasn't taken a 3 this year. Oh, Benali called for the foul. That's a tough call right there.
Wow.
And that's her fourth. I mean, that is a massive call. Benali's had her hands up, not exactly straight.
I'm not sure about this one, Jared.
This is not a foul.
Watch as she just straightens out. See the hand come down? Was there enough contact there? And that's where you've got to have the awareness as a defender just to keep your hands up and let Gamble take those tough shots. Exactly.
Don't, as I say often, don't give, you know, if you don't want a speeding ticket, don't speed. Don't give them a reason to pull you over. Spencer Linton refuses to listen to me when I tell him that, but that's another story.
No more speeding tickets.
Gamble missed both.
So she doesn't pay it off at the free throw line.
And then off
They're going to
Gibb.
secure it.
They could appeal.
And Gibb doesn't argue that call.
Yeah. That's where the honesty has to come in.
And so you don't,
BYU is checking.
Use an appeal.
They didn't really listen to Lee, who wanted a moment to look at it. Ball on the floor.
And plays like that, the tie-up ball, the effort plays, 50-50 balls are so important in a toughness game, right? This is challenging for BYU. It's going to challenge their toughness, Lee Kamard told us. Diving on the floor, getting those balls, creating the extra possessions are crucial and are going to be down the stretch.
39-33, skip pass over to Hudgens. Hamlin in the game for BYU. Hudgens missed the three, Long pulls it down. BYU 5 for 15 from three. Cougars average 38 a game, #1 in the country. Sissoko, Knuckler, air ball to Cannon. Cannon, a foul called on Sissoko. Can't believe it. 2 fouls on both teams here in the third quarter. Ava Mar will come in for Sissoko.
Offensively, both the teams really want to adjust to what the defense gives them. More of a read and react, right? Versus isolating into a play every single time. Now you have to execute the plays, but BYU that time, as Kaylin put the ball on the floor, I thought she could have kicked it to the right as the defense was taking it away.
Cannon, nice move to go from the free throw line in for the floater. BYU now up by 8.
For Cannon, that's her first bucket of the game. She's taken a couple shots that she missed prior in the first half, but she needs to be the offensive weapon where they can utilize like a Swiss Army knife all over the court.
Big jump from her freshman to sophomore year.
Absolutely, and it was the offseason work that she put in. And Coach Kamar said she made, if not the best progress, one of the best in the offseason in the work she put in.
Good job by Rokel to play some defense on Clark. Gibb all the way, Delaney Gibb. Best player on the court, and shows why right there. She's up to 12 points, a game high 12.
She's a 3-level scorer. You have to respect her range, but she can put the ball on the floor like that and get by you with ease. There's a fluidity about her game. You can't coach that.
Turnover, Fresno State, 14th timeout on the court. One, you got to make the team. She's on her way to doing that well too. They've got to qualify. But we could see her in LA at the Olympics, which would be awesome.
Man, the 5'10" sophomore is just continuing to get better and better. And I don't think it's any surprise to Lee Kamard and his coaching staff for how hard she works in the talent that she has.
Cannon, nice step through, great footwork, missed it. Rokel battling. They're going to call Rokel for the foul.
That'll be the second on Rokel. She continues to be relentless on the board. She does have 9 rebounds, 8 points. That time they catch her with the contact on the arm.
About time they catch her?
Yeah, they caught her. They caught her in the act.
43-33. We're up by 10. That's the most the Cougars have led by in this game. Long has 2 points, make it 4. Combined with Reen, only 6 from those two. They're going to need more from their top 2 scorers.
They average just under 30. And it's really been BYU doing a really good job knowing where they're at, taking away their strengths, and keying in on them. If they have to double them, they will, but just making it difficult to find good looks.
Hudgens weaving. Shot clock down to 10.
Rokel had a nice steal if they had just thrown that lob over the top.
Gibb creates some space, gets all the way to the rim. Incredible. At the end of the shot clock, Delaney Gibb carrying BYU right now with 14.
Ava Mara was so worried about roll call on the opposite block, occupying that second line of defense, and Gibb a wide open lane to the basket.
Long back-to-back mid-range jumpers.
And she said, okay, I've had enough. I got to start taking over the senior guard, trying to do more.
Hamlin is fouled. She'll go to the line as Kuna will pick up her third.
Now watch this right here, and you're going to see Mara just shadow over to roll call, wide open lane. Delaney Gibb has had no problem getting past her opponent off the bounce. Nobody can stay in front of her, and that's shown all game long. It doesn't matter who they throw at her, and that on-ball defense is something they take pride in. I'm sure that they're going to watch a lot of film on that.
Olivia Hamlin for two here. Top 75 player coming out of high school. Two-time Utah 4A Player of the Year. Grew up wanting to come to BYU. She was committed to Nebraska when Lee Camard got the head job. Flipped. Came to the Cougars. Been working out with Aaron Thorne, as we mentioned. She's been awesome. 15.7 off the bench. She's got 11 in this game. She's 13 of 15 from 2 coming in. She's knocked down a couple of three-pointers in this one. She's been spectacular.
She's a bucket for BYU. Just a walking bucket when she steps on the court, and that offensive spark. Such a lift coming off the bench, and Lee Camard loves her in that position.
Cougars still up 10 here in the third quarter. Powell around Green. This is Clark. Green. Nice pump fake. But Giawara missed it. Gibb quickly up to Hamlin. Racing up with the right hand. Missed it. Hudgens with the follow.
Hudgens sticks with it, but Hamlin, how quickly she releases and giving herself opportunities in transition, but great follow from Hudgens. That's the third bunny we've seen around the rim from Hamlin. She's just a little bit too rushed.
Green defended well by Yusuf. The jump ball forced by Hudgens. It'll stay with Fresno State, but anytime Mariah Hudgens can get in the mixer.
She's the dog out there for BYU. She is the dog out there, out on the court, laying it out. You see Hamlin just rushed right there. Defense does a good job getting back, but Hudgens in position to put that right back in.
She tipped it in, so Hamlin is out if you play that game in basketball. That one went too strong off the board. Bunch of bodies on the floor, and BYU will get the jump ball. Powell a little slow to get up.
She's taking her time. It looked like they collapsed on her as well. Boy, did she roll it?
Ooh, yeah, she got her before
man.
all that, and then she gets bumped into after. Hopefully her ankle's all right. She is limping right now to the hallway and the locker room right by. Okay, she's just walking it off. Hopefully she's all right. BYU trying to extend its largest lead of 12. Foul on the handoff against Gamble.
Gamble defensively is staying right on the hip of Delaney Gibb, chasing her off of any screen action. And that time too tight, too much contact. The officials didn't like it.
Hamlin to Gibb in the corner. Quick three-pointer from Delaney, just off. BYU 5 for 16. They are not going to get up 38 threes like they averaged today. Gamble.
I think Lee Camard would be happy with around 25, and they may get that.
Clark for three. Gunlock with the board.
Offensively struggling. The Fresno State just not able to generate any offense. And they're taking shots that aren't really high percentage shots, right? They're settling.
Great pass to Yusuf. She'll go to the stripe. Little two-man game between Gibb and Yusuf.
Yusuf is going to find herself at the free throw line quite often this season because she's a physical player. Great roll to the basket. Little dump pass. And she draws the contact, but last game against Omaha, she really struggled at the free throw line for BYU, which is 5 of 13.
She's got a team-high 21 attempts on the season, 43%. That one's too long. She's part of an international flavor of Cougars this year. Some great representation from around the country. Ari Mackey-Williams, by the way, not available today. The two Canadians with Gibb in Ogden. Lara Rokel from Germany. We'll show you Fresno State's a little bit later as well as this game continues to go across the globe. Part of the reason that is the Dream Team from 1992 was really the great expansion of hoops around the globe. And now if you're the MVP of the NBA, typically you're from another country.
Absolutely. Ooh, just
one
high.
Too far.
And
Hamlin,
Liv knew it.
Cougars, 15 turnovers. And the international flavor in the NCAA continues as well on the men and women's side as players from all over the globe are coming to the States to play college. We even have BYU men's basketball just signed a G League player who's played 2 years. Some are up in arms about it. It's all within the rules. It's like getting a player who's played in Europe. As that one's thrown ahead, Gamble was there, deflected it out of bounds.
Transition defense, getting back. That's been so important because BYU has 11 fast break points right now, and for how quickly they want to play and get the ball up the floor. That time getting back was Gamble to get the deflection. You see the tip. That would have been a layup from Gunlock. Oh! Little shot fake really got Long up in the air.
Long went super high, and luckily Gunlock sort of sidestepped it. Otherwise, those are scary moments.
Yeah, both sides, right? I mean, you're off balance when you're that high and you absorb some of the contact. Beautiful shot fake, though.
Yeah, Long luckily kind of rode on the back of Gunlock and came down without any injury. You just see terrible plays sometimes in that situation. Luckily, nothing happened. Gunlock makes the free throw. The freshman from Big Fork, Montana. 4-time All-State. Played soccer and track all 4 years in high school as well. She's part of that freshman class. Done a nice job for BYU. Yusuf, they're going to call a jump ball on that, and Fresno State will get possession.
Bola Yusuf, 6'3", and I've talked a lot about this, her athleticism and her ability to go and play around the rim, go hard, get the rebound, tie up balls, be physical. She has a high ceiling for BYU.
Less than a minute to go here. Fresno State has scored 9 points in the quarter. BYU plus 10. That's the difference here to get this 14-point lead. BYU wanted a foul on Kuna on the roll. No one's dribbled out.
Too much dribbling for the Bulldogs. BYU's doing a really good job contesting the outside shot, which you could tell a couple times. Ava Marr, the freshman, wanted to pull the trigger, but Braden Gunlock, excellent footwork on her closeout.
10-second difference. Give to Hudgens. And Hudgens is fouled. It'll be free throws for Mariah Hudgens, with Gamble picking up her third. Followed by 14, trying to extend the lead. Hudgens, the redshirt junior from Aurora, Colorado. 12 points Thursday against Omaha. Only played 7 games last year after a knee injury, transferring from Santa Clara, where she played 2 years. She played 2 games against BYU in the West Coast Conference. Mom Amber ran track at Mount Hood Community College. Dad Drake, basketball at Seattle Pacific, played professionally in South America, and she's a self-proclaimed Swiftie. Have you consumed the new album?
I am not a Swiftie, but I respect her. I like some of her songs.
Game?
Yes, I respect her, but BYU's so excited to have the return of Mariah Hudgens because of the experience she brings to the court, and you can see how influential she is at bringing that dog out on the court. And this is a young BYU team with 5 freshmen, 3 sophomores, and just the returning 1 starter in Delaney Gibbs. So Mariah Hudgens going to play a crucial role.
Last year, she says, according to Spotify, she listened to 423 hours of Taylor Swift.
Oh my gosh, admittedly.
And then she's on pace to break her record. In October, she listened to 41 hours of the new album, Life of a Showgirl. Just that album.
She is the first to start the dance party in the locker room and brings so much fun energy to this team.
20 seconds left in the third, BYU by 15. Traveled the pivot, got pulled by Watkins, and now BYU can add to it as Gibb went to the bench and then comes back because BYU gets the ball.
BYU such a different look defensively this year, and I absolutely love it. They got the personnel to pull off these switches, but they do it aggressively. Hamlin forcing the turnover.
BYU will keep it. 13.6 left in the third.
Been a rough third quarter for the Bulldogs. BYU outscoring them 21-9.
Oh, Gibb called for an offensive foul.
She tweaked her ankle as well during that play.
Let's see if there was a push-off or if it was just a good move, as Gibb got inserted back into the game for that moment, picked up her second, and Fresno State gets the ball back. Five seconds left. Long. Gotta go. Gamble driving. They tried to find Ava Moritz after the shot clock and buzzer went off. And so that one ended. They called him the Deacon because he was a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, religious. And that's a phrase that they understood.
I love it.
The Deacon. Just got his induction into the Pirates Hall of Fame, by the way, just a couple months ago. Congratulations. Gamble. Over to Watkins.
And the length of Brinley Cannon on Long, disruptive, but a big send shot. How about Kuda? She had a strong start to the very beginning of the game, but it's kind of been a little quiet. BYU made the adjustment on her, but getting her first start this season here today.
Deflection, and here comes the breakout. Long looking for options. Throws it away, goes to Kuna. Here's Gamble. Watkins, too strong. Rokel with her 10th rebound. She just needs 2 points for a double-double.
Those incredible hands, really soft hands. You saw her just kind of tip it to herself so she could go up and collect it. And she's got the height advantage at 6'3", doing work around the rim.
Cannon wide open, mid-range jumper is good for Brinley Cannon. 4 points, 4 rebounds for the sophomore from Idaho.
You see Coach Camarda utilizing her on the point guard now with that 6'1" frame, just disruptive to Long. She does not want to shoot over her. Cannon does a good job moving her feet. She's a smart defender.
Rokel called for the foul. Let's check in with Mary Hayes.
Thank you, Jerem. Coach McCarthy went into the last huddle clearly frustrated. Listening in, he made it clear he wasn't impressed with his team's play so far in this half. He told them he wants to see the same energy and execution we saw in the first quarter back on the court. Throughout the third quarter, he voiced his frustration on the sideline too, saying BYU can get past them every time if they don't buy in and take care of the ball.
Thank you, Mary, as Reen will go to the line. The first quarter was 17-15 Fresno State. A little more up and down. Since then, BYU has put up 40 points to 22 of Fresno State.
And part of that is the challenge of being on the road, a little bit of elevation and settling in against a much better opponent to this point in the season that they've faced. But they brought a ton of energy in the first quarter. And I think when Reen picked up that second foul, we saw a shift. We saw them lose their top scorer and having to rethink how we're going to go about our offense, how we're going to score. But they need to continue to rely heavily on their defense if they want to get back into this.
Letta Rokel checks out with her 4th personal, joining Sydney Benali on the bench. Yusuf rips that one away. We're still up by 15.
I love Cannon right on the pin in the middle, because she's so good at decision making, right? She's going to be a weapon. We saw her just hit one a moment ago right at the free throw line. They're showing the zone, the Bulldogs.
Going to mix it up after a 21-point third quarter. That was too long from Ogden. Too strong on that one. Here comes Reen. Hudgens pokes it away.
Nice hustle from Hudgens to come from behind and poke that away and save a transition basket. Now you have the ability to set up your defense under the basket and try to force it out away from the rim.
Here's Powell. Clark's open.
Clark not even looking for the three-point shot. We've seen several players for the Bulldogs not looking at all. See him right there again.
Right there, yeah.
They want to put the ball on the floor and get to the rim.
Ava Mar is only the real three-point shooter that his team consistently wants to shoot it from there.
And if they want to be successful in the Mountain West, they are going to have to shoot from the outside. And that's part of that's confidence and just being ready to shoot, pulling the trigger, getting reps in practice of three-pointers over and over. But they need to be more of an outside threat versus putting it on the floor every single time.
There's a foul on Gamble, and that is her fourth.
She's been tasked with the toughest defensive assignment of trying to stay with Delaney Gibb the majority of this game. And, you know, she's long, she's athletic. One of the most improved players that Coach McCarthy said he has coached, and might be the best defender he's coached. That's why she's been tasked with that. But with that fourth foul, she's got to be careful now.
Sydney Benali back in with 4 fouls as well. Rokel still on the bench for BYU.
A 2-3 zone once again by the Bulldogs.
Gamble stays in there with the 4 fouls, by the way. Down 15. Trying to keep her in there. She gets the rebound.
She really does so much for this team. You see she can handle the ball. She can run the offense. She's not a player that's going to shoot from the outside, but really good off the bounce.
Millie Long gets cut off by Hudgens. Clark looking for a screen. Goes it up too strong. Yusuf. BYU basketball. So how does Fresno State cut into this? What needs to change for them to
It's got to be their mayhem. It's got to be their defense, and that's their identity, a huge part of what they do, and forcing turnovers. But BYU really hasn't a problem in the second half particularly, so you might have to throw some other junk stuff at BYU just to try to throw them off, force them into some miscues. And you see they've shown this 2-3 zone more in the second half.
It's a kick.
BYU has
some of the junk, just
well, I mean, just giving them a different, the junk, right? Kick the ball, but giving them a different look. And BYU's gone scoreless the last 2 minutes, so the 2-3s worked, but they're not executing on their side offensively and putting points on the board to catch into this 15-point lead.
3-2 in this quarter, Fresno State so far. It's taken a while for BYU to get into the offense. Long pestering Benali. Nice job by Clark to deny that. Here's Long, a 3-on-2. Benali with the strip. Hudgens is open. Benali looking at her. What a pass, and lay-in by Hudgens. Benali goes the distance. And BYU adds to the lead, 57-40.
Boy, there's not many players that can make that pass, and it's slightly late. It was late when she saw it, but she zipped it in there to Hudgens. Beautiful job from the freshman.
Foul in the corner. Green was open. Kuna, excuse me. Benali now.
BYU +8 on the boards.
Gibb, like a mirror image, but Gibb does it this time. Benali again. She had 11 assists in her first collegiate game. Gibb with the rebound. Good box out. 2 Fresno State Bulldogs in the backcourt. BYU with numbers if they want it. And a carry called against Gibb. You don't see that too often.
Ball off the rim or out of the net. They're looking to push.
So here comes Millie Long and the Fresno State Bulldogs. Trying to chip away at this deficit, down 19 with 5 minutes to go. BYU trying to get to 4-0. Certainly on their way here in the fourth.
BYU's done a nice job protecting this pick and roll right here. You see how they're trying to force into the screen, and then the protection with the big.
Ashlyn Reen throws it up. Yusuf deflected it, gets the rebound as well. Quick leak out to Cannon. Reen has really been limited. 3 points on 1 of 5. Benali for 3. Grazes the rim and goes out.
And BYU formed a wall on the other end against Reen, to your point, and just not allowing her an easy look at the basket. Their length has been disruptive. They've done a good job keeping their bot. And then the mayhem, I think BYU's done a really good job adjusting. The first quarter, we kind of came out, everybody on fire, right? Just running around, a lot of chaos, a lot of up and down, but BYU has really settled in against the pressure from the Bulldogs.
Hudgens, Rokel, and Gibb have the giggles.
Hey, they're loose right now, right?
They're very loose up 19.
You play so much better when you're loose.
Chavez into the game. Fresno State, Reen blocked by Yusuf. And Yusuf is fouled. She is a problem on defense. Reen has really been limited. It's been hard to get open shots for the leading scorer for the Bulldogs.
An absolute wall to go through, and see how she keeps her hands high, keeps them off until the very end, locating the ball. I mean, when you're 6'3" and the long reach, I don't think we have a wingspan number on Bola Youssef. We need to measure that because those arms are long.
We just need to ask the right person.
Yes.
Benali with those 4 fouls, under 4 to go. BYU, a comfortable lead of 59-40. Gunlock for 3, air ball. Youssef goes to the ground, she gets hit hard, ball still loose. She's got it, jump ball, Fresno State ball. Youssef got hit real hard when she went to the ground in the scuffle.
So you just can't coach that, though, between all 4 of the freshmen that are eligible. They have 5 freshmen on the team. Miriam Traore is still out, but these 4 freshmen, they sacrifice their body, they compete. It always takes a minute to catch up from your senior year in high school to the physicality, the speed, the quickness of the game, but they have adjusted nicely for Coach Lee Kamard.
Yusuf's tough. She's from Nigeria, moved to Japan for high school, hasn't been home in over 4 years. And her dad passed away shortly after she got to Japan. A loose ball is nothing. Gamble. Gibb battling. Jump ball, fantastic. These 2 teams, there have been, what, 6 or 7, maybe 8 jump balls. BYU ball now as they will come back down the other way. I love the toughness and the grit of both teams. I think Fresno State's going to surprise some people
100%.
in the Mountain West Conference this year, and BYU certainly hoping to in the Big 12.
That's the expectation with McCarthy and Lee Kamard. Toughness and grit, compete every play.
Hamlin in a hurry.
Look at Bola Youssef. Once again, on the ground, hitting the deck, trying to scramble after the rebound. She's got 8 boards now. And she's so impactful and playing right around 12 minutes a game, but just her impact is immediate with her presence in the paint and on the boards.
Hamlin going to hang with Long. Gamble inside to Reen, one-on-one on Gunlock, turns into the double. Chavez, nice footwork, Long 2. No good, Yusuf battling with that. Hamlin comes up with a loose ball. Olivia Hamlin, jump stop, missed the floater. 2.5 to go, BYU, 59-40. Nobody scored for a couple of minutes here.
Well, this game for the Bulldogs begins a long road trip. They're not going to be back home until December 6th. And they got a tough one against a top 25 team in Washington coming up next week. At
Santa Clara, Mariah Hudgens' former team, New Mexico State, Louisiana Lafayette, in Louisiana, New Orleans specific. Benali for 3, no good. Gibb backs up and lets the rebound come to her. Gunlock resets and knocks it down from the corner, the freshman from Montana. And BYU's up 22, timeout Fresno State.
Top with the point guard, and you take that action away, it's tough to get into your offensive sets.
Kuna leading the way for Fresno State, got her first start today. Scoreless in the last 6.5. Comeback was never going to happen if we couldn't get a big quarter. Needed a 20-plus quarter. 9-3 right now, BYU in this quarter. Kuna too strong with the left hand. Hudgens comes up with it. So we approach 1.5 minutes left. BYU on its way to 4-0 on the season. This will be the first loss of the year for Fresno State. And they play Washington, who beat Utah in Salt Lake. 45 minutes up the road as Yusuf will go to the line. And Kuna called for her 4th. So the Huskies with the 11-point win over Utah. Missouri taking on Kansas, another Big 12 women's basketball action today.
Games like this, especially where you're playing a higher quality opponent like Fresno State, are so important for BYU, especially with the youth, right? You got to continue to get better and progress. And that's something that Lee Kamard has said. He said, day in and day out, this group gets better at whatever we challenge them with. And that says a lot about them because they're seeing progress every single day. And early in the season, you have to see that in preparation for your conference.
This is a game where Fresno State led in the first half, about 14 minutes BYU took the lead at the end of the second quarter and then hasn't really trailed since. Gamble.
Braden Gunlock has really good feet.
Steal by Benali. No look up to Hamlin. Too hot to handle. And a good call by her, but to not go crazy on that one. It's a 22-point game. Now's not the time to
Don't hurt yourself.
dive into the stands.
Do
for that.
not hurt yourself.
Make a business decision. It is another BYU turnover. 21 on the day. Certainly an area to improve in moving forward, but BYU defensively has been dynamite the first 4 games. 62 is not a big number, so you look at points per possession, 0.873. If you're 1.1 plus, that's a very winning number. 873 is probably a number you lose most games, as that one's turned over by Sydney Benali, because Fresno State's at 0.580, a very low point.
Very low.
Number.
Yeah, they've been solid defensively. You know, even though the 21 turnovers you talk about, a lot of them were kind of their own mistakes. We've seen some travels, some carries, right? And so there's only been 4 points by the Bulldogs scored off of those. So not a lot of live ball turnovers.
Only 12 points in the second half for Fresno State. Hattie Ogden's got a nice stroke, missed that one. Hamlin with the O-board, and she is fouled by Reen. Olivia Hamlin going to add to her total of 13 points here.
I'm trying to get Hattie Ogden. A shot in the corner was a good look. She's the 3-point shooter coming off the bench for BYU. Only player not to score that's played in the game for BYU. Hamlin comes in averaging 16 points a game, just shy of that, as the second leading scorer behind Delaney Gibb for BYU.
Tremendous free throw shooter is Hamlin. She's only missed 2 on the season so far. And if Aaron Thorne trains you, that's what it better be.
Yeah, if it's not, Aaron won't.
You're going to be
that.
running. Hamlin with the offensive rebound. Missed the floater. Really being aggressive. 35 seconds left. 63-40. Long will take the 3 and nails it. 20-point game.
It's the cleanest look she's had the entire game, as BYU is known where she's at all times on the court. And particularly in the second half, they bumped her off the ball and let Gamble handle the ball so that Long can try to be more of the scorer.
BYU will dribble it out here. 9 points is a game high for Long for Fresno State. Delaney Gibb with 16 to lead BYU. Hamlin with 14. They combined for 30. Fresno State at 43 points total, as the Cougars are 4-0 under new head coach Lee Camard. First loss of the year for Fresno State and Ryan McCarthy. And BYU gets the 63-43 win